Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SteelMen. Today, we're going to be talking about these big playoffs coming up this weekend. And pretty much after we film this, I'm going to try to put it straight up so you guys can see what we think. But let's get
Because
right
it's
on into it.
super wild card weekend.
Super wild card weekend. We're going to do our predictions now rather than later. So let's get into it. I think we're going to start with the NFC and then we'll go to the AFC. I think that's the
Okay,
best way
let
to
me
start
pull up my
here.
bracket here.
He's bringing up the bracket. I have no bracket. I don't have anything. I mean, I'll bring up the bracket for representation here, but other than that, we don't got too much. Oh, he's got the special bracket.
Yeah.
Okay, so NFC matchups. We're gonna start lowest to highest.
All right. How about we start with you could start with the lineup today and move into tomorrow. Just follow that schedule. That
Yeah,
would be AFC
yeah,
first, but
yeah. That would be AFC first, but we
like the
start. Don't
first
we
game
start
we've
with
got Browns at
okay,
Houston.
that's gonna be a game. That is going to be a game. This is a tough one to call because Joe Flacco is absolutely doing bits right now. I mean, CJ Stroud slinging the ball like nobody else too.
I mean, Joe Flacco might be elite.
I know. Like, well, hold on. He's elite after he comes back. He just fits into their scheme so well, and at this point, he's like literally getting paid millions. He doesn't give a crap. He's just slinging the ball wherever he feels like that. That's him
Hmm.
right now. He does not care what happens. He's just getting his bag and getting out. But
Yeah, if they win today, he gets 250,000.
yeah, like seriously, he's getting money out of this. He's getting tons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Normally, I don't think players get paid that much for playoffs.
nah, that's.
It's really not in their contract.
But I mean, if he got that opportunity to, then again,
Get the
there might
bonuses.
be some other places that they went down on his contract too. If you think about it, like you have the 250 for playoffs. Who knows how much he's getting paid?
He
But
probably got like nothing because who thought
Joe Flacco would be doing something. Oh, he's going down. I mean, with this game, I think it's going to almost come down to defense. To be honest, I think it's going to be
oh well if it
slightly
comes
who
down to
can hold.
defense then
I think it's
it's
going to
gonna
be
easily be the Browns.
yeah. I think it's good. It's not like the fact of like who can stop them the most. It's who can stop them at least once. I feel it's going to be a super offensive game, but it's whoever's defense stops them once to win it.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
mean,
that's how I feel.
I don't want to pick the Browns, but I got the Browns close to a blowout.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Texans prove us
Maybe
wrong
not a
all season.
blowout, but
That's
I think
not
it'll
a
be like
yeah.
10 points.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be where the score is a lot higher than what how close the game is. I think like the score will not represent how close the game actually is. I think it's gonna be a close game, but a high scoring game. So it's gonna be like a by two possessions, but it's gonna be like that one team isn't really that far away from winning it anyway. So it's I'm just leaning more towards Brown because of the defensive side of things. Like I know Houston Texans is pretty decent,
Yeah, defense wins championships.
you got Miles Garrett there for thing he can take off the helmet of CJ Stroud and knock him out at any moment in time he feels like. So I
That's
mean,
true.
yeah, so I think this is going to be one of the more even games because it's probably going to be one of more of the where the weather is not like minus 50 or in a blizzard, but you know, I I'm leaning more towards Browns due to the fact of the defensive side of things. Defense wins championships, and I think defense will win this game. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think they'll just get the few more essential stops. That's what I'm thinking here. That wins the game is a few essential stops by Browns to win it. That's how I'm
And
feeling
really,
leaning towards.
you look at all these games,
Yeah, it's really like a defensive game, like set up for most of them. But like,
aside from like in the AFC, this is the game players want to play because like you look at the Chiefs, which is going to be like negative 20
oh
degrees or
yeah,
something.
negative
The Bills
15.
are in a freaking like winter storm blizzard type
Yeah,
game. Just have to move
but
that game.
I mean, we'll get to that later. But like, it's the fact that like all of them, all the other ones are like absolutely in like chilly weather that like nobody like even if you like
We're
in that
playing
weather,
in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Texas, even the heat temperatures, except when the blizzards when an inch of snow
Everything's bigger in
happens.
Texas except for the Browns Super Bowl chances.
Oh, bro,
Mic drop.
earlier this season when Steelers were playing Browns, my family was my family has a few. There's a Browns fan that just got put in the family, and we were talking, and the one person's like, "Go Browns," and then I just see a picture of an orange toilet ornament, and it goes, well, as you can see, I'm putting up my Browns ornament onto the tree. I'm like, dang, that's the only bowl they win in. But yeah, so
That's
I
right.
think Browns for the first one. Browns seems like the pretty good choice on this one,
Yeah,
even
I'd
though
agree.
like
I'm picking the
Texans are three.
Browns.
I think Texans did well, but like, are they a 3 seed? No, they're not a
They're
3 seed.
four
Oh, they're 4 seed. Oh well, are they a
just
four
because they
seed?
won the division.
Not really. I mean, thank you, Trevor Lawrence, for doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they're probably a 6 or 7 seed.
Yeah, they're probably more. They're ahead
Well,
of
actually,
Steelers.
you
I
look at
want to
their
say it's
record, they're what, 10-7, so
yeah. I think they're
six
ahead of
seed.
Steelers, but
Yeah, they'd be ahead of Steelers, so they'd be a 6 seed.
yeah, I would say they're where Dolphins are. But I guess moving on here down the list, I believe we got the Kansas City and Dolphins
Dolphins
here.
at the Chiefs.
See, here's the thing about the Dolphins is they're kind of like Cowboys on the NFC, where if they're at home, they're fine, but if they're away, they're so like mediocre, it's bad.
Well, they lost at home last week. They also
Yeah.
got like crazy amount of injuries.
Oh yeah. So it's hurting them here. I
Not going to be the
personally,
best game.
I was gonna I wanted to say that Dolphins could do it, but like with the way that it happened last time, and with negative 15 degrees, like I know nobody wants to play in it, but like that's gonna be a home field advantage for Kansas City Chiefs here. I'm leaning
Yeah,
like
you
it's
know their
more.
fans are still going to show up.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be a crazy time there, and I mean
Great.
crazy. I think because of that mediocre away by Dolphins and just the weather at this time, I'm leaning more towards Kansas City just due to that fact. Like I think Kansas City is a
Hmm.
decent team, but not a great team this year. Like they're a team to go pretty deep into the playoffs, but I don't think later on. But it's gonna be a game. I'm gonna have to say that it's gonna be one of those games where it's like you can't tell until you get into the game who's really gonna win it. Or it could be one of those games where it's like it starts off, you're like, okay, this is close, and then all of a sudden one team just goes off. Like this is one of those games where it could be either really close or really bad. So who knows what's going to happen here? But I'm leaning more towards the Kansas City Chiefs on this one, just due to the fact of the weather advantage and
Hmm.
the uh, the mediocre season that Dolphins had away. Now playoffs is a different beast, but still, it
No, I'm going to agree with you. I
yeah
just, I originally had the Dolphins, but I'm picking
yeah
the Chiefs,
yeah.
even though they just don't have like the wide receiver
Oh
weapons. I
yeah,
don't think the Chiefs go any further past this round.
no Chiefs here.
But I'm taking the Chiefs.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing too, like you have different where teams peak at different points, and these are the two teams that kind of like peaked really kind of in the middle of the season and kind
I
of
don't even
fallen
know
off.
if the Chiefs really peaked at all, though.
Eh,
With the Dolphins, they peaked early and they've been
yeah,
good.
peaked
They have
early and
no
declined.
momentum right
Yeah,
now. They've got nothing.
they don't really got the
It's about who
train
comes in
chugging.
hot, and the hottest teams right now are the Browns, the Steelers, the Bills, and maybe the Ravens.
Yeah,
But
that's a tough one because they got the Ravens is going to be a tough thing for Ravens because they not only do they sit people the last week to not get hurt, they also get a week off. So that's like 2 weeks, and,
that's
and that's a big factor in that game. Now we'll get to that later, but like yeah, it's really tough to tell because a lot of the peaks of the teams are really tough. In Kansas City, who knows? They Kansas City, for some reason, when they get into freaking playoffs, they just appear out of nowhere and become something different. But I think this
Patrick
year's
Mahomes.
if Patrick Mahomes decides to become a
Chris
different
Collinsworth.
permit.
I swear, if he actually, I have to look this up. Who is announcing
Oh dear
this
God.
game? I bet it'll be Chris
Oh
Collinsworth.
my gosh. Chris Collinsworth is going to be like, well, as you can see here, my buddy Pat Mahomes is at quarterback, and I would like to tell you all about him for the whole game, even if they get freaking trounced on by the Dolphins. Yeah, but lean more towards Kansas City just for the weather factor and just for that like factor of away. Away and weather just doesn't pan out great for the Miami Dolphins. And I think there was like something last year too about like if Miami hit a certain temperature, they weren't really that good at either. Like they hit below 40 or something like that, and they kind of like lost most of their games in that zone too. So like I'm leaning just for that factor. Now we get to the game that's just going to be like everybody has their own opinion about it. It's the Steelers versus the Bills. It's one of the games where it could go everybody says it could go either way. Me personally, I think it's going to be one of the closer games of this playoffs just because of the way we're coming in here. Because I mean, here's Bills. Bills are peaking, not lying, but they're also the team this year have been so like up, down, up, down,
That's
up,
right.
down. And then the Steelers up, down, up, down. It's like it's two. I almost compared it as two similar teams going up against each other. Because
True.
I
You
mean,
think if Tomlin didn't play Trubisky, the Steelers would have 13 wins right now.
yeah, dude, Rudolph
They
has
could
been
be they could have
balling.
been the number one seed. The number one seed
Yeah,
if Trubisky didn't play.
bro. Like you see,
Think like that's crazy.
like I respect Mitchell Trubisky for being in the NFL, but Rudolph absolutely comes in and like has starts off on a Bengals like you're coming in the Bengals game. You're like, okay, can they win this? Are you sure about this? Rudolph comes in, starts slinging the ball down the field. Pickens starts taking it and scoring like 30, like a blowout, like not even close. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where was this team the last 3 weeks that they lost? And then we go to Seattle, and it's a battle, pretty much a battle for the playoff position at this point. Like
Mm-hmm.
who's in the playoffs? And I mean, you had a grueling grinding battle, and and that's when it becomes a Steeler game. Is when you start grinding a little bit, and Najee and
You get the running
Warren
game going.
start going, and it's they're used to that even without TJ Watt. Hey, TJ Watt, people put so much respect on his name, but they don't realize how much big that whole defensive and how deep that defensive core is on the Steelers. I mean, you have Ravens where I mean you didn't play Lamar, but like still, it's a Ravens versus Steelers game. Even if he was in, it's still by 3 points. Like
That's right.
it's
That's
a
what I
one
was
possession
saying.
game
They're like,
constantly. It
well,
doesn't matter if you
congratulations,
have
you beat our backups. This is their Super Bowl.
yeah, shush.
At
Earlier
least
in the
we'll have
season they
one.
beat Lamar anyway, so who cares? Like, and then you have the
That's what
Bills. Like the Bills doing probably I think the almost the exact same thing as Steelers, where they
they
kind of like
barely beat the Chargers. They barely
yeah,
beat other teams like,
and, and
but they're
then and then
winning.
they still claim the division with the win over Miami. Miami choked away that division like crazy. Like
Yeah.
that was probably that's the second biggest choke than Lamar in the playoffs. Like you got to be like seriously. It like that's why this game is so tough to call. Like I hate everybody saying that oh it's gonna be a blowout. No, it's not. Like I know that Steelers have had 4 losses in the past. Like Mike Tomlin's not great in the playoffs here. Like I understand that, but also like eh, it's two teams coming in absolute off of win streaks. I
You know what
believe
year it
here.
is? 2024.
2024. I don't see why they're what are you talking about those other four
I
seasons?
don't.
Like TJ
It's a new
Watt,
season, new team.
TJ Watt missing is a factor, quotation marks. I call it quotation marks because they got two guys that back them up. It's Heinberg and that rookie 95
Highsmith, Nick
Dotson
Herbig, 51. Herbig.
Herbig 51
Yep.
Herbig
And
and then
Marcus Gold. Marcus Gold's probably
oh
going to
that's
start
it.
with
Yeah.
Nick Herbig in rotation.
Oh yeah. And
Highsmith's on the other side, of
everybody's like,
course.
"Oh, TJ Watt's out." I'm like, "Did you forget the guy in the middle of the defensive line
Herbig's a
called
stud,
Cam
though.
Hayward?" Like, you got Hot Highsmith on the other side. Like,
Minka's coming back.
yeah, like, come on, like, dudes, it's the secondary's fine. So it like there's definitely going to be a pick by Joey Porter Jr. at some point. Josh Allen's like
Hmm.
up in the air half the time with how much touchdown to freaking interceptions he has, where it's like 5-5 with a couple fumbles in there. It's gonna be a freaking game. Personally, even though I'm a Steelers fan and I can say that like I'm leaning towards Steelers to win it, I don't know. Like I really don't know how this game's gonna pan out because it's so like you can list all these numbers by both teams and you can list all that, but it's like the with the snow coming in and stuff, it's a crazy thought process here. It's real, and they just moved it to Monday too, so that's even more of a factor here.
That makes scheduling for the week after crazy though for whatever
Yeah,
team wins because now
that's
you're playing a short week.
yeah, and that's gonna be ridiculous.
Probably
But
on Sunday, but you never know. They
yeah,
can't make them play Saturday.
yeah, you can't make them play Saturday if
But
they
there's
play
a
Monday.
chance now that Steelers win,
Yeah,
Ravens get 2 weeks off and
bro,
play on
bro,
Sunday.
bro. Okay, here's the thing: coming out if Steelers win this, think about it this way: Steelers are 5-1 in the division. They have won five out of. They beat both times the Bengals, beat both times the Ravens, and only won versus the Browns, I believe, this year because I believe Browns took them off once. But like, it's the fact that they're 5-1 in division, and everybody's like, "Oh, not gonna win." It's gonna be. It's gonna be if they beat and go on to the Ravens. That's gonna be crazy. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Saturday,
so you
Sunday,
look
baby.
here.
Yeah, we got
It's
we got the
kind of
plan out here.
it's kind of backwards. Let me see if I can mirror my video.
No, yeah, we're good. We can see Saturday and Sunday on ours. We can see it left to right. You're good. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
backwards for me. You're good. You're fine. I can read it
So
perfectly fine here.
let's figure out the schedule, what it looks
I
like.
believe we start
All
out
right.
with
So what do we say? Who wins these two games? We need to know Steelers, Bills, Eagles, Bucks. I'm taking the Bills and the Bucks.
uh,
I think that's how it's gonna go.
uh I, I I'm kind of leaning towards you with the Buccaneers because Baker Mayfield found his team. Baker
Okay.
Mayfield found his team. So like we got this Saturday and Sunday here.
Okay. So that would be if the Bucks win,
Yeah.
that's got to be a Sunday game because they played Monday.
Yeah. I mean, so if you have that, then you also so then so if we have Kansas City winning, we have Browns, and then you have oh yeah, that's a tough one. But I mean, you have
Would it
Lions
kind of
versus
even
Rams. I believe Lions are winning that game. Like I know it's
I'm
going to be
taking
cool for
Lions
Matthew
too.
Stafford, but I think Lions are just too good
Okay.
right now.
But we
Lions
can
are just
agree
too
that the
good.
Bucks should win. Um, we both
Cowboys
said
versus
Browns and
Green
Chiefs.
Bay. I think Cowboys will win
I'm
that
taking the
just because they're at
Cowgirls.
home. Just because they're at home.
Okay.
That's the
So
only
then we
reason they're
got
winning that. Dallas and Lions.
whoever wins this Bills Steelers game
That essentially puts whoever plays.
Sunday.
It would have to be Sunday. You can't
You have to do it.
you
So we're
have to do
just,
it.
we're the schedule makers here.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
oh,
the lights went off. Give me a second.
he's been in there too long, baby. Oh gosh.
All right. We're making a Steelman bracket. We're not making separate ones. So
No,
we
yeah.
need to decide Steelers or Bills who's
Bills.
winning.
Oh, geez, this is a tough one.
I go back and forth.
I know that's the thing.
I'm
It's like a
leaning
coin
towards
flip.
Bills though. But if you can convince me,
How? Gosh, see, I hate these ones that are so close that you can't figure it out. Like it could go. This is one of those games that could go either freaking way.
yeah.
Like, see, my thing is I'm leaning for just the fact of the snow with Najee turns it up in the fucking
Well, they
snow.
they moved the
Oh, excuse
game,
my
which
language.
means there's going to be no snow.
Oh yeah, there will be no snow. Ooh.
It's going to be a regular field. Maybe the wind's up a little still, but
Yeah. I mean, Mason Rudolph's throwing dots though. Like, if you can get the turnovers on Josh Allen with that defense, that's why I'm leaning.
sure.
You know what? I'm leaning towards Steelers for that reason because Rudolph is going to be clinical about where he puts that ball,
All
and
right, let's just
that's the
say the
thing.
Steelers win.
I think the Steelers win just for that fact because like the more I think about it, Buffalo, like, even though Buffalo has that, it's still like that, like there. Then you have the Browns and Kansas City, and then yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh. Now we get into the divisional round. Okay,
All
so
right.
you
Now we're
have
gonna move
Dallas.
over here.
Well, we already know who's winning that Dallas and Detroit game. Detroit, obviously, because Dallas is away. Dallas can't do it away, and Detroit's pissed off about the
Now
game that they
both of
lost
these
versus
games would
Dallas.
be on Sunday, which makes it. This is why it's because both of the
Ooh,
games are
San
on Sunday.
Francisco and Bucks. Ooh,
Okay. Let's go NFC,
you already know Detroit's winning that game.
AFC. That's what I'm going to.
Because, like, first of all, Detroit's at home. Second of all, Detroit lost earlier to a bad call. And third of all, it's Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
Kansas
agreed.
City versus Cleveland. We have that one.
I would take
I'm leaning more
Cleveland.
towards Cleveland
That's what I'm saying
just
too.
because I think Joe Flacco is going to be like Mason Rudolph with just the clinical finishing and just dropping it in the pocket.
All right. Now we've got San Fran at the Bucks. I'm taking San Fran.
Yeah. I think the Bucks will give them a run a little bit, but I think San Francisco is just that good on defense that it allows it to happen.
Yeah.
Baltimore versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh
This is another
boy.
close one.
A 3 point
Listen,
game.
this is the one I would lean towards the Steelers
That's the
because
one
we've
game that
seen
I would
them
lean towards
win.
the Steelers. Due to the fact that Lamar is going to choke.
It's
Second of
it's
all,
Lamar in the playoffs.
TJ Watt's back.
Steelers have done it already twice.
Yeah,
TJ could be back.
could be back. I mean, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I mean, with the defense that they have, but it's also like Mason Rudolph is doing bits. Najee and Warren get going. It's an end of the day for that. And
Yeah.
and the thing is with Ravens, I just don't see Ravens winning any playoff games this year. Like personally, I don't see Ravens doing it. I don't see Ravens
Okay.
doing it. Oh
So we've
my
got
gosh.
a crazy conference champion.
Oh, brother. Detroit versus San Fran. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got Pitt versus Browns and San Fran versus Detroit. Wee, baby. Does Joe Flacco go on that roundabout way of revenge
This is
for him?
another one.
Or
I lean, TJ could be
oh
back.
my.
I would lean close to the Steelers on
I
this one.
know.
This is the
This
path
is
to
the
the
thing.
Super Bowl
The
for
thing
the
is if
Steelers. They got to play the
if
divisional
Steelers
teams.
get past Bills, it really
5-1
looks
in the
like a
division.
clean picking for them through the whole thing.
That's what I'm
Personally,
saying.
like if they get past,
It's not, guaranteed, but I think,
but
if
it
they
looks
get past the
easier.
Bills, like they can do it.
And the
Is
thing
what
is they can play down to anybody because they are essentially last place. So that
yes.
eliminates the thing where they like play a bad team and play all the way down to their level.
I would
Do we
take
go with
San
that?
Fran in NFC.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I
I
mean, I
see
like
that
Detroit,
because I like
but
Detroit,
I
but I
just
don't.
don't know if they're.
San
I mean,
Fran,
Jared
Brock
Goff's
Purdy,
been there before.
Brock
Maybe
Purdy,
Brock Purdy
and he
chokes.
doesn't get hurt. He doesn't get hurt. You got Brock Purdy with that offense and that San Francisco defense.
That's what I'm. The San Fran's the most stacked team. I
Yeah,
think they should win.
I don't see San Fran not making it to the Super Bowl this year. Like that's a thing. And then you have Cleveland versus gosh darn.
This to me comes down to Joe Flacco. Is
Yeah,
Joe
really.
Flacco playing good?
If he actually plays good, who knows what can happen in that game?
If Joe Flacco plays good, the Browns actually might go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. But if Joe Flacco does not play good, we all know who's going to the Super Bowl. Gosh darn it. Do we see a San Francisco and Browns or San Francisco and Pittsburgh?
I mean, you look at that Cleveland game, even when, there wasn't Joe Flacco, but even
Yeah.
when it
Watson.
was, Kenny Pickett before
Yeah.
Matt Canada got fired, it was still a close game.
Yeah.
Steelers won the first one.
Yeah. I mean, they lost the second one, but that was coming off
They
of
know
like
how to
a
beat the division
mess.
teams.
That was coming with whatchamacallit.
I think
what's his name?
Cleveland needs a little humbling here too.
I think what's gonna I yeah, I'm leaning more towards Pittsburgh due to the fact that I think
I
Mitchell
I
Trubisky
would
was in
too.
that loss. And when
I
Mitchell
would too.
Trubisky was thrown for Steelers, that offense wasn't getting anything done.
No, I think it was Kenny, but they were still under Matt Canada.
Ah, yeah. No, yeah. No, that
But
sounds
it
about
was like
right.
18-10 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, Rudolph is essentially
Yuri,
what
what was the
changes this.
score of Steelers Browns earlier this year?
Oh my gosh. We gotta look. Here we go. Getting the final decision here.
13-10.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that
I
Browns defense and offense. Like,
okay, you know
I'm
what? I
sorry.
had to say TJ Watt's back at Pittsburgh. But here's
With
where
a better offense, we beat Cleveland.
yeah. Better offense, but better defense is Steelers by a long shot. Personally, San Fran.
I would take San Fran here
San
too.
Fran. Like San Fran is such a complete team this year with Brock Purdy at the helm. It's like it's literally deciding on who plays San Fran at this point. Now, granted, I don't see Baltimore making it either way. It,
I don't either.
but personally, I think San Fran's going to win it all anyway. Like this is my prediction for the beginning of the year, but San Francisco winning it all and
Yeah.
still has not
Now,
changed. They look so good. They look so complete. Brock Purdy at the helm. Nothing like the offense. He's going to be throwing dimes. It's not going to be anything changing. The defense is really good. Rudolph could get him a little bit of run for money, TJ Watts, but yeah, they're getting their sixth one here, San
yeah,
Francisco.
that's what I think too.
Yeah, it's really tough to say that Pittsburgh could do it. Now, if Pittsburgh does it, I'll be happy as heck, and
That'd be crazy.
it'll be crazy. The thing is, I see if
The
it's
Pittsburgh
that first
Steelers are the
game.
first
It's that
seven
first game
seed
of,
to win the Super Bowl.
but it's
Let's
second
go.
time to the no, oh my gosh.
Seventh in the seven seed.
Yeah, but it's
Go
like
Pittsburgh.
it's once you get past that like first round for AFC, you kind of know who's gonna go if like
I
Steelers
think
win
so
or if
too.
Bills win. I feel like either team, like either Steelers or Bills, if they win that game, they go to the AFC Championship. I have a feeling one Steelers or Bills are going to the AFC Championship due to the fact
Agreed.
like if one of them win, I just think they're just peaking at the right time,
Because
having the team that
especially
they
these
need to.
divisional games right here
Oh yeah.
go either way.
Yeah. And I mean,
And
and
crazy
then
stuff happens. Like I
yeah,
would take, you know,
I would. But again, if it's Baltimore versus Pittsburgh, it's been done two times already. I still think it's going to win. Like
I do too.
Baltimore with Baltimore, even if they played Cleveland Browns, Baltimore's still losing. Baltimore is losing.
Yeah,
Joe
that's in
Flacco
my
is tearing
bracket that I
apart.
made. I
Yeah,
had Cleveland, Baltimore, second round, and Cleveland beats them.
yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be something where like whoever goes up against Baltimore has the win. There's no like in between and stuff like that. But like, but with San Francisco, it with the NFC, it's going to be a barn burner over there because I think Detroit's going to win. Like, I know Stafford's coming back. It's a great storyline if Stafford wins versus Detroit, but I don't see that happening. Detroit's so good this year that it's like,
I'm interested to see what Detroit like how they react. Are they going to be like booing him, or they're going to be like, "Welcome
nah,
back, Stat"?
they
Like it's a
liked him.
playoff
They
game
liked him.
too. Like
They liked him. I think they're going to be open arms about it. I think they're going to be like,
yeah, but
this is
it's a
cool.
playoff game.
I know. But I think with the way Detroit is, I think they're gonna be cool with it because I think they wanted this storyline too. They were like, yeah, bring him back here. We'll like
We'll beat them.
but I like the way the one guy put it. Like I was listening to the storylines of like football on YouTube the other day, and the one guy says pretty much essentially the way that Detroit's gonna do it, if they beat Rams, that's essentially like beating Stafford is beating the old Detroit. Like that's leaving the old Detroit behind. Like they finally just got rid of it. Got rid of the past, move on if you think about it. So it's just like this is a game more for I think for Detroit to win themselves rather than they either hand it to the uh the Rams or they win it themselves. But with Eagles, yeah, I'm sorry, but Eagles are just frauds this year. I don't know what the heck they were trying to do. Like it's crazy with the way they kind of fell off this year. because their secondary is just not like producing as they should be in the defensive side of things for Eagles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that's our picks. I think San Fran's gonna win it. Like now
In
we
my
could
own
see some
bracket, I
crazy
had
stuff.
San Fran over Buffalo, but I
It's
still
whoever.
think San
It's
Fran, no
almost like
matter what
San Fran.
happens, if San Fran doesn't win, like they have to win, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like they like not because of how good they are, just because of how complete or like consistent they have been the whole entire
Hmm.
season. Like, or we see a revenge tour from Steelers from the beginning of the season if they meet San Fran in the Super Bowl and they did the exact same thing San Fran did to them at the beginning of the season. We just see a rematch of the first game of the
Yeah,
season. But like, do I
where you could
see
see a
do
changed team.
yeah, you could see a different team, but I think giving San Francisco that rest is going to do something different than giving Ravens that rest. Ravens, if they didn't have that rest, I would be more confident about them winning their first game. But with Ravens not having that first game and just going in like after rest, yeah, that first game,
Especially with Lamar's shaky history.
yeah, and like everybody's like, well,
Lamar B.
Lamar needs team. The only team that he beat with like in the playoffs is Titans. But like that game was so close anyway that it was like it was
Yeah,
still shaky on them winning it. But yeah. Any final thoughts here?
that's all I've got. I mean,
Yeah. San Fran for winning it. And we
yeah,
got it. If we're wrong, we're gonna be happy if somehow it plans out the way we said it. And somehow Steelers win the whole thing.
yeah.
We're gonna be absolutely elated.
So
But
make sure
yeah.
you go look back on our before the season predictions, and
Yeah.
you let us know how bad it went.
Yeah. Seriously.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I think I said
I think
Jets
we
and
said
Bills in the
Jets
NFC
were going
North.
in. We thought Jets were gonna be the Steelers. But like Aaron Rodgers had to go and
Yeah,
crush his ankle. So we'll
but
see you
yeah.
in the next one. Peace out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the
Steelman,
notification bell. Steel
Steelman.
man.